Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Today is just a little update where we've been, what's going on, and what we hope to be doing here soon. Now, you haven't heard very much from us here lately, and I really should apologize for that. We have been really going through some crap, and making videos has just taken a back seat to all of the other issues we've been dealing with. So let me get started letting you know what's been going on. On September 30th, our English Mastiff Thor passed away. He had a brain tumor that had been growing for quite a long time that we didn't know about, and eventually it triggered massive seizures, and he was completely neurologic and we couldn't bring him out of it. So that happened September 30th, 2018, and needless to say, I was absolutely devastated. Thor was my best buddy. He wasn't a service dog, but only in the sense that he wasn't registered or licensed. But he did do a lot of service tasks for me. He was a year old when my son was born, so my son took it really hard. He had always had Thor there. He was ever present and always his best buddy from birth, literally. So adjusting to life without him was difficult, to say the least, and none of us did very good. Even my husband, who tries to put on the strong face for all of us, he took it really hard. It was hard for the whole family. So that was September 30th, and then early October I got sent for a brain MRI. We have known for many years that I had a chronic illness. It was diagnosed as fibromyalgia when I was about 19 years old, and I had gone on the assumption for most of my adult life that I had fibromyalgia. And then I started having symptoms that weren't explained by fibromyalgia, and extreme symptoms, brain fog that reached an all-new level, especially with the loss of Thor right at the same time. It was crazy. It was crazy, and my mobility suffered so bad. I could barely get around. I had to start using a cane, and then my joints have been deteriorating. It triggered a massive flare, and we didn't know what it was flaring, what was causing all of this. So my doctors had me go for a brain MRI to see if I had multiple sclerosis. It was negative for MS, but they did find a 8 by 9 by 8 millimeter meningioma right about here. Here's a image from my MRI. Now, the meningioma most of the time is slow growing and non-cancerous, or non-malignant, a benign growth. There's no telling how long it's been there, how much it's grown, but I did learn a lot about them, and doing everything I can to try to minimize the impact, but we can definitely tell that it is affecting my memory and my word recall. Sometimes you may see me stammer for a word, and that's why. I have no control over this aspect of what's happening to me. That's really frustrating, but something I've just got to learn to deal with. Now, on top of all this came a new diagnosis of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a genetic disorder where your body does not produce collagen the way it should. And collagen is kind of the glue that holds everything together in your body. All of your cells stick with collagen. Collagen is what provides the elasticity in your skin, and it's what allows your skin to heal. It's what makes your tendons elastic. It's what gives your muscles elasticity. Your veins and arteries and all of your organs, they all depend on collagen. There are many different types of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Each different type reflects the area of collagen that is not being produced properly. So right now, my working diagnosis is hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And most people with Ehlers-Danlos, we call it EDS, most people with EDS are hypermobile to some extent or another. But not everyone is as hypermobile as others. This disorder affects everyone differently. No two people are affected the same way. And there are things like being able to touch your thumb to your forearm that I can do, and I never knew you weren't supposed to be able to do that. Being able to bring your pinky back like that. Hyperextension of the elbow and the knees. Being able to stand flat-footed with your knees straight and put your hands flat on the floor in front of your feet. These are things that are part of the test for the hypermobility. And I went through all of them with flying colors. My son also has a lot of symptoms of this illness. I'm very happy that we're going through it with him at a young age so that he can go through life knowing what is going to cause damage to his joints later in life, because we need to avoid those things. If I had known, I would not have done Scottish dancing where you're just bouncing and jumping all of the time, because now my ankles are shot and I can barely walk. And I directly relate that to doing Scottish dancing and wearing heels most of my life. But also we have some things that aren't quite normal compared to the normal population, like very thin translucent skin where you can see the veins through our skin pretty easily, very pale skin. So they believe that we may have vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is where it affects our skin and our veins and arteries, capillaries, heart occasionally. And it's very important to know these things and to learn about them and to be able to monitor to find out if there's anything going on there that shouldn't be, and maybe to fix it if possible. So that was a big doozy and kind of hit hard, but it's a little bit of a relief to finally know what's causing all of the crazy things that go on with my body. So at least now I have a little bit of order to my chaos in my body. The order being I know what's causing it. And it's a little easier to accept the really hard days when you know what's causing it. Another thing that happened is I got an order for a service dog from my doctor, and upon doing a lot of research, I discovered there is no way I can afford a service dog. They are ridiculously expensive. And sure, there are places that get you a service dog for free, but the waiting list is ridiculous. and I have been working with dogs most of my life. I have been training dogs for years and years. So, on March 9th, 2 days after my 45th birthday, we got Mjolnir. Mjolnir is a half Saint Bernard, half English Mastiff puppy. And he is so sweet and snuggly and cuddly and just absolutely lovable. He has a great temperament and very intelligent, very curious, loves his belly rubs. And he is going through training to be my service dog. So I will have another YouTube channel for training. I'll have tips and tricks and information about dog training along with his progress videos. Because I am not training as an associate of any recognized popular like 4 Paws for Ability or anything like that. What I am doing is making videos of his progress and putting those on YouTube for public access so that when he goes through his basic obedience, advanced obedience, service task training, and his public access training, it will all be documented so that he will actually be a legal service dog for me and will have all the rights of a service dog. So that will be awesome, and I look forward to sharing all of those moments with you guys. It's going to be great to watch him grow up, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Right now we're trying to just get through life, focus on the good stuff, and while all the bad stuff is still there, it does not have to rule our lives, and we do not have to give in to all those stressed and grumpy moments. There is hope and there's joy if we just choose to look at it. Ehlers-Danlos is a progressive disorder that will never get any better. And I get to look forward to the rest of my life going through wondering if I'm going to have an aneurysm or if I'm going to have a hollow organ rupture, or how long it's going to be before my back completely gives out, locks up, and I'm paralyzed, or this joint or that joint completely dissolves and can't be used anymore. So that's just a reality for me now. And at 45 years old, it's admittedly difficult to accept major shifts in reality. But I'm doing my best, and I'm trying to definitely stay on the positive side and not really, you know, I have to accept that these things are coming, it's going to happen, and I have no control over that. But what I can do is I can work on muscle strengthening, muscle toning, maybe even one day be able to walk without it being excruciating. That would be awesome. And basically I have to teach my muscles to do the job of my ligaments, because my ligaments are weak and they can't handle doing the work anymore. They may be 45 years old, but they feel 90. Okay, so the muscles need to learn to take up the slack and do what needs to be done. So that's one of the steps I'm trying to take in my life, and training Mjolnir is helping me, believe it or not, because it's helping me get up and stay more active. And it doesn't matter how I feel, I still have to get up and take care of him. Pogo is getting a little bit older. He's a year-old now. He's not quite as demanding when it comes to care. He's still fairly demanding, but not as much as he used to be as a puppy. Mjolnir, however, he's still a baby, so he needs lots of care. He needs frequent outings, trips outside, which I've had to teach him to go outside on a tie out because I have an allergic type reaction to ultraviolet exposure, so I can't go outside in the sunlight. So I did manage to teach him at about 10 weeks old. He learned to go out on a tie out and to manage himself outside. He's not very good with recall yet, so we're working on that. But patience has become one of my best friends. I really rely on my patience a lot, especially dealing with the dogs and sometimes a very needy kid. He's usually pretty helpful, but he can be pretty needy too. But that is what's going on. It's where we're at. I'm still working with doTERRA, and it is helping me a lot. If anybody is interested in joining me on this venture with doTERRA, you are more than welcome. Please reach out, contact me. I have updated my website at Kristen'sOils.com with a ton of great information for you with the oils. So definitely check it out. Check out the oil videos that are going to be coming up. I'm looking forward to making more. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified of all the new videos as they come out, and you will never miss a thing.